All right, we recording?
There we are.
We are now.
Okay, we are now. I got the message. This is March 30th. This is the Mayor Manager meeting at 8:32 a.m. And Nathaniel Sierra is still coming on. And in the room is Jade Truscott-Reed, Stephanie Carlisle, Linda Olson, Shawn Lewis. Is anybody else on?
I just jumped on, Linda, or Mayor.
Oh, good. You're there. Great.
All right. Well, we'll get started with April 5th. We have study session items for Malley Trust Fund expenditure recommendations. And I'm just going to run through the four and then we'll put times. The preliminary 2022 revenue expenditure forecast assumptions, attorney selection process discussion, overview draft capital one-time supplemental budget expenditure list. So we've assigned, well, actually we haven't assigned discussion time to any of these. So the first one, we're thinking about 10 minutes for the for the presentation on Malley Center. Any thoughts on how long that discussion might take?
I don't think it's controversial, is it?
No, I don't think so either.
No.
10 minutes max?
10 minutes.
What?
Exactly, just 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then the expenditure forecast assumptions. Let's put that at 10 minutes for the presentation. It's at 15 now, but let's shorten that to 10. And then discussion time on that.
This is a preliminary revenue and expenditure for next year.
Should we say 15?
This is forecast assumptions review. Well, I mean, this is just another stage of the budget prep, right? So,
right.
Is it just what it's just what she thinks is going to happen next year, right?
I believe so.
Does she have a formula that she uses for that she'd explain, or? Always wondered.
You know, I'm not sure.
I think it's just more informational, isn't it? It says info and direction. What kind of direction will she need?
Jade, can you help read the description?
Well, we've always received these, Mayor, from Director Sabata as well. She gave us like a expectations not only for this coming year, but also like 2-3 years out. So.
Right.
Yeah.
But what does she want for direction?
Okay.
So the description that I have is just council review preliminary 2022 revenue and expenditure forecast assumptions. Unfortunately, I don't have exactly what they'll be looking for direction, but I'm happy to reach out and provide you with that information.
Great.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I don't see this as being a big discussion item. Do you? It's more informational of seeing where we think things are going to go.
Right. Maybe 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
I was thinking 10-15 minutes for the discussion.
Yeah.
So Jade's putting in 10. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
And then attorney selection process discussion. I don't know what this is.
I asked this to be put in there. It's for us to go over how we're going to do our interviewing and everything the following week. Which requires us to have some questions that are already done. And I'd asked Charlene if she would look at the past, and she and Jackie, or not Jackie, Rhonda, look through it to see, and I haven't heard anything. That's been a couple of weeks. So I will try calling Charlene.
I can just email them and let them know that you're looking for that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And you're looking for sample questions, right?
Yeah. We should have questions from the past that we did.
Oh, right. Questions from the past.
Which I think that we have. Though it's not been that long ago, unfortunately. So I'm assuming that the HR department keeps things like that. And I think that's what I'd suggested, was that they look and see what we did before and what's kind of common, and see what else we might add in, and give us a set of questions and we can decide. And then there's supposed to be a plan for you all, directors, meeting this person or persons, sorry, and timing of it. So it would probably be some Zoom meetings set up. So I go ahead and, yeah, would you email Rhonda and Charlene and say that because I can't email right now.
Certainly.
I can check on my phone, but I can, but it's a lot harder to just do all that on a phone. I'm being picky. I want to increase the typos, have me do it through my phone.
Gotcha. All right.
Does that sound right, Nathaniel? That we've got to plan this whole thing so it's clear what we're doing.
Right. Yeah, it definitely sounds like you thought it out a lot more than I have. So it does sound good, though.
Mayor, do you have an estimate on how long you'll be discussing this?
I would say, what I would like to do is get the questions out this week in the packet, and so that they've looked at them and given feedback.
You want those to be confidential?
Yes, probably.
Okay, we'll send those separately.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there was a question about what could be done. Sorry, we stopped to get gas. It's noisy now. There was a question about whether we could do these confidentially or not. In exec session.
Yes, and Stephanie, did we get the link to this meeting to the new attorneys? I met with them yesterday and I expected them to be on today's call.
Gosh, you know what? I did not send it, so I will. It's probably too late at this point, but I could definitely ask this question and then get back to you. I thought HR was kind of taking care of all those little questions, so, but I'm happy to reach out to them. I have been corresponding with Kendra Carberry.
Yeah, if you can ask that question.
And that's if these interviews can happen in executive session?
Yeah, what's the question?
Yeah, I don't know why we would, so the last time, I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been with Alex, and maybe even with Rhonda. We were talking about how we were going to conduct these, and they said that they had done research that these could be more confidential because I don't know. I guess the concern is that we're going to lose candidates. Obviously, that's what it is. More than anything else. So I guess just find out what the protocols are and what the legal options are. Council can then decide.
Okay.
Okay, Shawn, do you want HR to reach out and do that, or did you want us to do that?
I want HR to do it.
Okay.
So I guess I'll get with them. All right, so
Thank
Linda,
you. I would do this. I'm just afraid that I won't be able to do it today.
yeah. Okay, and then Linda, do you want to just put maybe a 10-minute discussion for this, for the attorney selection process?
I think it'll be longer than that. I think we should allow up to a half hour.
Okay.
I think everybody needs to be fully briefed and understand what we're doing and how we're going to go about making decisions. Let's just lay it all out. We may not take that much time, but I think I'd like to just allot that much time. What do you think, Nathaniel?
No, it's good. Yeah, I think 30 minutes should be good. I'm trying to think of all the questions that may arise from it, but I think 30 minutes sounds right.
I mean, this is new for everybody except, well, like this is new for several people.
Yeah, I was going to say the
pro tem, and so is Cheryl, right? No,
sure.
And Rita.
Yeah, and I guess you're right, and also the fact that if there is a chance that these could be done more confidentially, that may add time. So I think I'm fine with 30 minutes. So.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right, moving on to the final study session item, overview draft capital and one-time supplemental budget expenditure. This is the big list, the wish list, and it's now gone to P&Z and is ready to come back to council, but just as a study session for one more discussion before we put it into the budget supplemental. So I'm not planning on presenting this again except for the changes, so maybe 5 minutes for presentation, Jade, and then however long Nathaniel and Linda think for discussion.
And remind me again, Shawn, there's not that many changes, right?
Well, they're about 5 minutes worth.
Okay.
I honestly, the planning commission added some things, and I haven't looked at their final list because they said we want these 6 things, but we also want all of our unfunded projects from last year that council didn't approve put into the list. So it is a little bit bigger. I just haven't seen the final yet.
Okay. So it actually sounds like it might go a little bit longer, Linda. So maybe 15 minutes.
I think so. And it's a lot more money, right?
I haven't seen the list, but I think it is, you know, another $500,000 at least.
I think it could take longer.
Yeah.
People are surprised at that.
Okay.
All right. Well, we'll move on to proclamations.
So I'm sorry. So did you want to increase the time then, Linda, from 15 minutes discussion to what, 25 or so? 30 minutes?
How about a half hour again?
Okay.
That's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, that's good, Jade. Yeah, but it's.
She's putting 25 minutes to split
That's a big amount of money.
And then, so we probably want to talk about a 5:30 start for this meeting because it looks like we're at 10, 10, 10, 10. That's 40, 30, it's an hour and 10 plus. This looks like more like a 2-hour study session.
Is there anything we cannot do on this study session?
Well, here's the thing, Shawn. I guess regarding the budget discussion, this is just preliminary in terms of the list. Like, we're still gonna need more information during the next 6 months to actually discuss whether or not we want to move forward with it, right? So to me, I don't know if that discussion of 25 minutes is actually going to take that.
Yeah, this is your last chance, actually, Nathaniel, because this would be going straight into the budget supplemental and be available for expenditure as soon as you approve the supplemental.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah.
It's actually, this is outside the normal process because this is an add-on for 2021.
Yeah, I was confusing the 2 budget discussions that we had that night. Okay, yeah, you're good.
Jay, do you have the budget supplemental? I don't see it on here, but we could actually push we could push this to the same night as that, but that's really not good.
So I'm looking at the rest of the timing. We've got lots that we're saying is going to go on consent. And do we really have to start at 5:30? I don't want to get in the habit of starting too early.
No, not at all.
I currently have the budget supplemental to pass by motion on April 19th is currently where that's slated.
Yeah, that's why we really need this discussion on that meeting. So
I think it's going to take some time, so.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jade, we're not doing that. Okay, well, moving on to proclamations. We have an Arbor Day proclamation, a motion to renew AEC West contract, resolution appointing members to DDA, approval of 2021 sustainability plan, 2021 Allen treatment plant, bulk chemical purchase, and the same for aluminum sulfate chemicals, and a National Fitness Court grant, a resolution to accept that. and Deere and Company for the purchase of 4 units, truck trailer purchase, Chevrolet units, so trucks for $112,000. John Elway for replacement of vehicles, Jason Park Amenity Improvement Grant, renewal of the All Health Network for co-responders, resolution to appoint City Council Member Ward to the URA, amendment to Inglewood Municipal Code regarding addressing council, and that's about the addresses. CB12 vacation of right-of-way for Alpine, CB09 ordinance for stormwater bond issuance. That's it.
And just to clarify, all but 3 of those items are on consent.
That's great.
The addressing the council is the one on whether or not they have to give their address.
Correct. It's just changing the code to let them say their single member district.
Yeah, or the street they live on, not a address house or something. Yeah.
I'm not sure that's in
okay.
there. We can add that.
But that's not in there. Okay, so they can just give their general district. So I see that on consent. I'd like it to be on consent, but I don't know that it's going to stay on consent.
Sure.
Should just put it there and have it be pulled off? Or
Sure.
what do you think, Mayor Pro Tem?
No, that's fine. I think that, yeah, even if they pull it off, yeah, I don't expect it to be a long discussion.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, there's a lot on consent, so it should go fast, right?
Yeah, I agree. Well,
The
so I was
Go ahead.
gonna ask, because Jade, you have that very last item. Well, it's a second reading, so there is no.
There shouldn't be any PowerPoint. I believe that was carryover
Yeah,
from when it
okay.
was a first reading. So yeah.
But is it on consent? Did we get a 7-0 on that one?
I believe it should be on consent from
Okay, cool.
what I
All right.
remember.
Agree.
Okay, cool.
All right, ready to move on to April 19? Excuse me, April
Actually-
12th is
Actually,
the,
I'm gonna. Do you mind if I ask the question now? I know that. Actually, no. Let's just keep going.
oh no,
I'll wait till the end.
okay. So we have city attorney interviews on April 12th and April 13th. And then
I would put down a time for those, just so that people have a heads up. I think we need to start those at 5 or 5:30, but let's find that out. But it would be nice if we knew and let people know if we're not starting at 6. Depends on how many we have.
Right.
So maybe just put a question mark about timing of maybe 5:30 question mark start time just on it to remind ourselves.
Will do.
Thanks.
right on
Who
April
says I don't have blue energy? Oh, Peter would laugh at that.
All right, on April
All right.
19th, on April 19th, we have 2 study session items, review of preliminary 2022 through 2026 capital improvement plan project requests, study session memo on Citizen of the Year nomination and selection. So I guess we can assign times to these at the next meeting, or we can go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, motion for approval is the next item for overview of draft capital and one-time supplemental budget expenditure list. So this is the list that we will have discussed in the previous meeting. And Q1 2021 strategic plan dashboard and progress updates. We have asked, Tim asked if this could be consent, if you wanted it to be consent. This is just giving you an update on where we're at with each of the strategic plan goals and objectives. And then another possible consent, approval of modifications to the strategic plan. This is based on your council retreat on January 22nd, the direction you gave then. And then electronics records information management approval. This is a little over 100,000, so we have to take it to council. Emergency operation plan approval by Lisa Clay. Resolution approving the First Amendment to the preliminary development agreement with SKB. Approval of IGA, CDOT design and reconstruction of Dartmouth traffic calming corridor. Intergovernmental agreement with RTD for the trolley. Sale of municipal training center. Intergovernmental sub-grantee agreement for CDBG funds. Amendment to Inglewood Municipal Code regarding addressing council, so that's second reading. And finally, a vacation of right-of-way for Alpine. Any questions on
So
those?
do you want any perspective on whether those can go to consent or not, or what do you?
Yes, So it looks like, Jake, if you can, there you go. It looks like we've got question marks by the strategic plan dashboards, modifications to the strategic plan, which is really just ratifying your council action direction. The SKB for the city center is a possible consent. Linda, I don't know if you're looking at something. I'm reading things because I assume you aren't looking at a screen.
No, I am. I have it
Oh,
drawn.
okay.
I do have it downloaded and up on my.
Okay, well then I'll stop reading everything. You can tell us.
Anyway.
So I guess so. Go ahead, Linda.
Well, we're just going to start with each of these and just decide. What do you want to do?
So I was going to say, yeah, let's just go down one by one, but starting with the strategic plan, I would say yes, because it's only an update.
Me too.
Okay.
And then same with the one just below that. So just modifications to the strategic plan. I would say yes, but I can see that getting pulled off.
Electronics records. No, and then Lisa Clay. That's just approving the plan that we've already looked at.
Yes.
I would say yes, but obviously, yeah. Well, actually, just a question there, Shawn. Shawn, is there any changes from what we've seen?
No, there haven't been any changes.
Okay, so I would say yes. Next one is resolution approving First Amendment to the preliminary development agreement with SKB.
So this is the same agreement, but just extending it.
Is there no presentation from Dan or Brad?
I don't think there necessarily has to be.
I don't believe
just
there's one planned.
What'd you say, Jaden?
Oh, I was just chiming in that I don't believe there is one planned currently.
Yeah, because they're just asking them to continue the same work.
Exact same thing, right? It's just extending.
Right. So yes or no on that one?
I'm actually thinking no on that one, Linda.
I have a feeling that people are going to ask questions.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's more of my thinking. It's just I think there's going to be questions.
Yeah, it's the one that'll get pulled for sure if one does. So let's do that one off.
Yeah.
And then the traffic calming, you may remember that was a little bit controversial because it's the roundabouts on Dartmouth.
Oh yeah, that one's got to stay on.
And then the IGA for trolley, that's a yes, right?
I would say yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And then actually on the sale of the Municipal Fire Training Center, which is now called the Jackson Fire Training Center, we need to probably brief council. We had a good negotiation yesterday, and we probably need to brief council on that before you're asked to vote on it. Well, it will be in the memo, so your call on that.
Where is that?
Oh, did I skip one? No, the sale of Municipal Fire Training Center. We met yesterday with South Metro and had a good discussion. we've come to an agreement tentatively, so.
Yeah, I don't think that one should be on consent.
Great, I think that it finishes it off.
You think? Yeah.
We have one more first reading, the IGA for the sub-guarantee, the IGA with Arapahoe County for the 2020 CDBG funds, sorry.
Right.
I would
I don't
say
know why
yes. That's an annual agreement. So that the E3 program. So you say yes or you say no, Linda?
I think that should be on consent, but that's,
Yeah, I
you
do
know,
too.
I know past it was controversial that we even received those monies.
Oh, okay. I would still say yes. We'll leave it as yes for
That's
now.
recently. Yeah, I agree.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to April 26th. So for April 26th. Sorry, Linda, what was that? Okay, study session item, consideration of local improvement district for alley paving in the 4300 block of Broadway. Monthly financial update and off-lease survey results.
That ought to be a barking meeting.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be fun. That'll be good to get some clarity on all this. But Polko would be there to present that.
I'm sorry, Linda, you're breaking up a little bit. What was that?
Will Polko be there to present?
Yes, they will.
Okay.
They're actually the
Yeah, we are
presenters.
driving into some mountains. If I go off, you can end the meeting.
Okay. All right. And then May 3rd, we have garbage recycling collection RFP content review and proclamation for Small Business Resource Expo and 2021 budget supplemental. And then May 10th, we have UDC steering committee applicants, discussion of those. A study session for HPC to go over their landmark application process. And that's actually on May 17th. And then on May 24th, we have boarding commission interviews. And that's it.
Yeah, that highlighted area, the budget workshop.
The budget what?
The budget workshop, just the fact that it's a several-hour presentation with PowerPoint.
So,
that really will get moved.
Oh, yeah.
This was an item that was added on after we'd already decided to move forward with May 24th as the interview date for Board and Commission. Would we like to go ahead and move this guy to the following study session, or how would you guys like to handle the 2022 budget workshop?
Well, that's definitely the item that's going to have to move.
Yeah.
And we can't do it on the 10th either. So yeah, I think we're going to have to do it on. Well, see, that pushes us into looking at the calendar now.
June.
June what? It's going to be late, like the 13th.
June
10th.
June 3rd or June 10th.
No,
would be
June.
the-
Actually, June 14th. If it's several hour, we can't have that as a study session item. On a council night, I guess.
Right. Where's our Citizen of the Year decision?
Citizen of the Year is going, the decision will be made on April 19th, but we did decide to push the other portion, the portion to it into June. And I apologize, I don't have my June dates up.
I just didn't see it on the computer. No, I think it's great that you moved it to June. That's wonderful.
To me, I think the 14th of June seems the most likely, but does that really, how does that affect the budget calendar if we wait that long? Because if I remember correctly, I think all directors come in and talk about that aspect, a portion of what they're looking to do, right? Shawn?
Yes.
So that by itself, it's its own night.
Yeah.
I think Linda agrees with me, but she's breaking up. Well, let's just tentatively put it for the 14th since Linda's breaking up. Maybe we'll talk about it. I don't think we have our one-on-one this week, Shawn, but I think you may want to get.
I can also reach out to Jackie and see what the impact would be on the budget too, and see if there's a alternate date from her.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Shawn, since Linda's breaking up, we're probably in the meeting, but I was wondering, are you still there, Linda?
She just exited.
Somebody exited.
It was Linda.
Okay. So Shawn, actually, and probably should have asked it earlier while Linda was on the line, but I guess for this upcoming meeting, can we talk about going back in person as a under mayor's choice? That was an item that I had that we needed to discuss.
Under which meeting, Nathaniel?
This coming Monday, the 5th. We have a pretty packed agenda, but
Sounds good.
Jay, did you have anything else in terms of what we had to?
I just was able to capture the 2 items that I had sent to you guys. Let me just clarify. I believe one was returning to in-person meetings, and then a study session regarding the BAC ordinance change.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. I don't know if we want to go ahead and get that scheduled, or do we want to keep it in future study session items?
Well, that needs to be done pretty quickly. If we're gonna, do we? Oh man, we don't have time, do we? So the 5th, and then the 12th is the interviews, and then the 19th. Man. Shawn, do you know what that timing looks like if we were to discuss a change to the ordinance? Like what are the steps?
That's a change to which ordinance?
To allowing BAC to, I guess, make recommendations on the capital projects. Is that the right wording, Jade?
I believe so. Unfortunately, Ooh, what was that, Steph?
Oh, I didn't say anything.
Oh, I'm sorry. I must have been. I'm hearing things. Sorry. I believe that is the correct thing. I can go back and re-listen to the meeting for that very short section.
No, that's fine, Jade. But that's the crux of it. Just making a change to their what they're allowed to do.
Yeah, I don't think it would be very complicated.
So it'd be like a first reading, second reading kind of thing?
Yes.
Okay. We may have to talk about it on this coming Monday.
Well, didn't Steve bring this up during study session or the last council meeting?
Yeah, he brought it up during the last council meeting.
Yep.
And I don't remember if there was consensus to move forward with it, but we can.
True.
There may have been, but we can go ahead and draft something up too. He asked me about this right after he was first appointed, and I said, really, it needs to come up at council meeting, and then we should get direction. And I thought we had kind of gotten some direction but I don't remember. Maybe we need to review that tape.
Yeah, I agree. But we're short on time, so if they're gonna participate, I'm just trying to think of the timing. So if the capital projects are going to be coming back to us maybe June 14th now, I guess we may have more time. But I'm just trying to understand how to get them involved, when to get them involved. Do they get involved before planning and zoning or concurrently with planning and zoning? So I don't know. It's just maybe we leave it off just because the bid does seem to have a lot of items.
Okay.
Is that okay with you, Shawn?
Shawn?
Like in terms of the way that I'm thinking about it, does that sound right to you?
It does to me.
Okay. let's just leave it off for now. I may reach out to Steve and just kind of discuss it with them. Because he's obviously thought about it a little bit more than I have.
Yeah, and certainly staff is Switzerland on it, so just let us know.
Right, okay. No, that's good. I guess there's nothing else. So with Linda gone, well, actually, are there any more comments?
No, and I've been getting some council requests, but we didn't have I don't think I got any at that meeting.
I didn't have anything outside of just, yeah, I wrote down the one about in-person meetings.
Okay, great. I think that's it.
All right, well, since Linda's not here, I guess the March 30th mayor-manager meeting is now concluded.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, everyone, have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.